Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we are going to learn about Git and GitHub introduction. So what we learn today, what is Git, why Git is used, Git features, what is GitHub, why GitHub is used, what are GitHub features, and lastly we'll see Git versus GitHub. So Git is a global information tracker. This is a full form of Git. Git is the version control tool. Now why it is called as version control tool and what is version control, that we'll see. So now what is version control system? Now suppose in the company one project is assigned to one team and this is a timeline given. So on 10th of July you started with the project and you created index.html file. Okay, and you did the modification to that file. So whenever you have created the file, what modification you have done, who has done it, at what time, all the details will be stored as a snapshot inside version control system. You can see over here at the end VCS and the database container. Okay, it is like a version control system is nothing but like a repository or the storage area. Okay, it's like a database only which stores the changes or the modification done to your file. It tracks all the changes made to your project. Then on 10th of September, you created one more file about.html. So in about.html file, you uploaded one picture of yours, so photo.png. So when you created it, when you uploaded the picture, all the changes will be tracked by version control system. So it will be stored as a snapshot inside the version control system as a version 2. Every snapshot is considered as a version. Now this snapshot will be considered as a one version. This snapshot will be considered as another version. Then on the 10th of December, you change some content of about.html. You made the changes to this file. So whatever changes you have made after 2 months also will be saved as one snapshot inside this version control system. And which version control system mostly used? Popular one is GIT. It is the tool use. Version control is the theoretical concept. Okay, it is telling you what is happening and how it is storing the tracking the changes or keeping the records. But who actually keeps the record? This GIT software. That's why it is considered as version control tool. Then we'll see why GIT is used. It is used to track the changes you make in your files. It keeps the record of what has been done. Helps you to revert to specific versions needed. Okay, every changes is saved as one version. Okay, it is taken as a snapshot and that snapshot is considered as a one version. So you can anytime revert back to your previous versions whenever needed. Easy teamwork. Team can work easily and multiple people changes are merged into one source. Used for source code management. Allows multiple developers to work together. Now what are the Git features? It tracks the history. Whichever previously you have done any changes to your project, previously if you have deleted some files, those everything you can track using Git. So it tracks the history of your project. It is free and open source. Anyone can download it and install on their system. Supports non-linear development, meaning you don't have to work at the same place from different locations also. If the company's one branch is there in India and another branch is there in US, they can still manage to work with each other with the good teamwork because of GIT. Because whatever changes they make, GIT will track. So that's why it supports non-linear development. It creates backups. Okay, backup copy is always there with you. So you can always keep a backup. It is scalable. It supports collaboration. Different companies, different organizations can work together, or different branches of the same company also can work together without any issues because of Git. So it supports the collaboration of the team. Branching is easier and works in distributed development environment. Then we'll see what is GitHub. Now GitHub is repository hosting service that provides a web-based graphical user interface. It is a website. You need an internet and it is hosted on the cloud. World largest coding community. It is considered actually social networking website for programmers or developers because they can share their code on the GitHub. That's why it is called the largest coding community. Putting a project into a GitHub brings it increased widespread exposure. Entire world can see your project. Okay, and they can praise, they can use your project for their use. So it gives the increased widespread exposure. Every team member can work together on a project from any location. Previous versions created can be reviewed at an earlier point in time. So this is the example of GitHub, how it works. On your local machine, you will make 2 commits. Okay, you will take the snapshot of whatever you have done, and you can push your commits, your files, okay, which you have committed on your local system and which you have connected to Git on your local system. You can transfer those files on GitHub using the push command. So you can push all the committed files on your GitHub. Same way, if you did a modification and you got a one new commit, one more file if you have added inside a Git, that also you can push as a new commit inside the GitHub repository. And from the GitHub also you can pull down or download all the files on your local machine. So you can transfer the content from your computer to GitHub and from the GitHub back to your computer. So both the ways are possible. Transferring the content from Git to GitHub, you need a push command, and for transferring the content from GitHub to Git, you need a pull command. Now, why GitHub is used? For code sharing. It is a social networking site for programmers that many companies uses for project management and collaboration. Many companies can share their code with each other using GitHub. Most prominent source code host. It is a place where mostly the code is hosted or code is pushed according to October 2020 statistics. It has over 60 million new repositories created in 2020 and has over 56 million total developers. What are the GitHub features? Easy project management. You can easily manage your project if you have hosted it on the GitHub. Effective team management. If you have hosted your project on the GitHub, team can effectively manage the project. If one team member is working in India and another team member of the same company is there in US, both can work together with the easy team management because of the GitHub. Improved code writing. You can improve your code writing with the help of GitHub. Your code is safe. If it is hosted on the GitHub, it is considered as a safe and easy code hosting. You can easily host your code on the GitHub. So these are the GitHub features. Lastly, we'll see the Git versus GitHub, the difference between Git and GitHub. So first point is Git is locally installed on your system and GitHub is hosted on the cloud. It is a website. You need a internet for accessing it. So Git is offline. You don't need a internet. You can write all the commands and execute it without using internet. But for GitHub, you need a internet. First you need to connect to internet and then only you can visit GitHub website. It uses the commands like merge, commit, add, status, etc. Whereas GitHub uses graphical user interface like other websites hosted on the cloud. You don't need any commit, merge commands. Git is managed by Linux Foundation. It is an open source free software, but it is managed by Linux Foundation, and GitHub is managed by Microsoft. So this was all about Git and GitHub introduction. Thank you.